Are you in a toxic workplace? You ever been in one where you're like, oh boy, I don't want to go to this workplace? Let's give you some handy, helpful guide on how to navigate the workplace when you got a couple of toxic elements. Joining me in studio is Ajay Pangarkar. He's a professor of accounting and strategy at Carleton University. And he's one of our favorites here.
Oh, favorites.
Yeah, you bring donuts when you come.
Yes, I know.
It's really sweet and nice thing for you to do.
Donuts are usually sweet, so.
How's it going?
I'm good. Toxic workplace in the middle of July.
Yeah.
Elias, what were you thinking?
Well, you know what? Listen, we will get to the point of the vacation.
Okay.
Because that also leads into it. Because sometimes you feel like you're in a spot where you can't get.
Yep.
You can't take those vacation days that are owed to you.
Yep.
So we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But first off, I would say when it comes to a toxic workplace, probably goes straight to the top. Right?
Bosses.
Yeah. So in instances where I felt like my workplace, and not here, thank goodness, but in instances where I've been where I've said to myself, oh man, this place.
Have you been in a toxic
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Recently?
And let's avoid
the good people
putting
at
the
CJAD.
timeline
I know
down.
a lot of people at CJAD. They're good people here.
But it all had to do with the people at the top who were either enabling or primarily enabling bad behaviors. So how do you deal with that when you've got a boss and you know that and maybe you see it from your colleagues as well.
Yeah.
You know it's affecting you, and you know it affects other colleagues.
Yep.
And you got sometimes corporate culture where you cannot go ahead over. You got to go chain of command, and your chain of command, your boss is the problem. So how do you deal with it?
Well, first let me talk to the bosses.
Yeah,
it's leadership by example, as you said. So they need to set a tone of how, set the boundaries, set the code of conduct within the workplace, and live by it and enforce it. I mean, don't show favoritism. And that's pretty the simple rule to keep things in check. Now, unfortunately, bosses tend to wash their hands of it sometimes. And I've been there. I mean, I've had bosses who just said, hey, take care of it, and, figure it out. You're having a conflict with Elias, go deal with it. And I'm like, well, okay, fine. But I need some guidance from you of how to handle it. So if I have a conflict with you, or if I have a conflict with my boss, I can't, or I shouldn't be challenging him or her for face value. Because at the end of the day, it's my word against their word. And chances are they have, their bosses in their pockets to a certain extent, if you want to put it that way. So what you need to do is, first of all, I always say, learn to pick your battles. You're dealing with a bad boss. You're not going to change this person overnight. So, figure out what battles do you want to fight, because it could be career limiting, not just in an organization, but also in your career itself.
The career limiting.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something I have seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially, the larger a company gets.
Yeah.
There's this thing that, how dare you, like, let's say you've got a serious problem. And I'm not talking about the everyday stuff. I'm saying there's a problem of harassment
or ethics or morals or
ethics,
something.
that's this kind of stuff. And you're like, well, I can't go to the boss. The boss is the one without the ethics and without the morality. But the culture is, well, you don't go above chain of command. What did you just went to the VP for something like this? So what do you do? What is the proper way to do this stuff without kneecapping your career?
First thing, put everything in writing. Okay, so number one is, if you have an issue that's very serious, make sure you document it. Here's the red flag. Chances are, if the person doesn't want to document it, they're going to reply to you either verbally or in a non-written context.
Yeah.
So, excuse my expression here, I'm going to use a polite term, but cover your butt. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to, because when it comes down to it, to the next boss or to the mediator, whoever's going to get involved in a serious issue, you're going to have to deal with it. And when you have stuff documented and you have a paper trail and some evidence behind it, that shows your professionalism, and it shows their, let's call it ineptness for politeness, or maybe even corruptness. So be careful of that. Just document it and make sure you're taking the high road. I mean, don't get into a mudslinging fight with this person. Document it. Be reasonable. Be logical. State the facts. Don't deal with the person. I always say, and I tell my young students, I said, never deal with the person. They're not the problem. Deal with the situation, because the people can be replaced. The situation can remain.
Gotcha.
So always look at the situation, because that's what you're trying to resolve. And at the end of the day, we talk about branding. you want to elevate yourself. You want to be seen as the bigger person. Now, granted, we're all human beings, Elias. I mean, it's nice to be in a situation and me sitting with you and saying, take the high road. But when you're in the heat of moment, it feels like you want to be dragged down into that.
Yeah.
So you have to reflect and say, okay, wait a minute. I'm being dragged down by this person. I'm looking as bad as this person. I don't want to be here. At the end of the day, in the long term, I will look better if I take the high road. I document things and I deal with things in a rational manner.
And sometimes it can feel like it's so much work to document, but it's the solution.
Well,
So
let me ask you, how many
yeah.
people have you come across that have dealt with things very professionally? And you look back and you say, wow, they handled it well. And then think back to somebody who's handled it really poorly and you don't want to deal with that person. And even if it could have been 5 years ago. So at the end of the day, you recognize the people you want to deal with and you know how to handle it.
Yeah.
But we're human. So, accept your flaws as well, but try to be as reasonable as possible.
Speaking with Ajay Pangarkar about workplace toxicity. Okay, one very simple question.
Yeah.
How do you tell the difference between normal stress that comes with every job that everyone has? It's a job. You should have stress. That normal kind of stuff.
Yep.
Versus, oh my God, this is actually too much. What's the line to you that goes from normal workplace stress to, oh, you're in a bad workplace environment?
Okay, so first of all, normal workplace stress are the responsibilities you were instructed to deal with. Okay, so your job responsibility has certain roles and certain responsibilities, and you have to deal with those things. Now, there are stresses that go beyond that. Usually your boss or colleagues may put you under these kind of stresses that are beyond your responsibility. Now, you may want to take it on because you want to be a good employee. However, you have to recognize that there are limits. One thing I know, a lot of employees that I speak to do not know when to say no. Now, it's hard to say no in the workplace because you want to be seen as the good person. You want to be seen as the team player.
Yes, guy.
Yeah, let's go for it, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're not getting your own job done, you are going to suffer and you're going to be left holding basically left holding the bag because you're not getting your work done. You're maybe disappointing other people. So know your limits. Know if you're feeling that you're under overwhelming stress, take inventory first, prioritize what you need to do, and then look at if you have some space to deal with other stuff, deal with that.
The big question for the summertime.
Oh, vacation.
So, there's always this little guilt, right? That, I'm taking my days and that kind of stuff. And so, what's your advice here?
Take vacation.
Take it.
No,
Take it.
seriously.
Yeah.
Listen, we just talked about stress and anxieties, right? You need to step away. It's funny because there's a really famous personality in the United States. He's also, I won't name the name, but he's very famous. He's an on-air personality on radio. And he just took a holiday. I was listening to him. He took a holiday and he said, I had to get away from it because I was too stressed and I was facing anxiety. And he was admitting this on air. And I'm like, well, that's quite incredible. This is you listen to this person on the radio and it's like, well, you have the life.
Yeah.
Like you're world famous. But he felt that he had to step away because he was burning out. And so,
see, I wouldn't know anything about that because I'm not burned out. I'm just loving every second.
You're loving it, but you still need to step away. I mean, I'm sure you have vacation, Elias, and you need to keep fresh in your job. You have to take it away because your mental health is important.
Ajay Pangarkar, thank you so much for coming up to our studios. Really appreciate
welcome.
it. Every time you're in town, you make sure you give us a buzz.
I love being here, Elias.
And of course, Ajay is a professor of accounting and strategy at Carleton University.